Restaurant Unstoppable. What the most successful restaurateurs know that you don't. With excitement, allow me to introduce to you today's guest. At the age of 19 years old, he moved from Texas to New England and enrolled at the Atlantic Culinary Academy at McIntosh College. While in school, he worked with Chef Evan Hennessey at the Dunaway Restaurant in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and followed Hennessey to stages at One Washington in Dover, New Hampshire. Next, he worked at Portsmouth's popular Ristorante Massimo before joining Vida Cantina, where under the stewardship of chef owner David Vargas, learned how to run a kitchen. His and Vargas's partnership flourished, and together they opened Nell's Barbcue in Kittery, Maine, with restaurateur Jay McSharry. Chef Will Myska, are you feeling unstoppable?
I'm feeling
today?
unstoppable. I'm feeling nervous and scared, but unstoppable at the same time.
You're
you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do it. Yeah.
Pull
absolutely.
that mic just a little bit closer.
A little
to your
bit closer.
Yeah.
Yes,
Don't be
sir.
shy.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Cover that
let's
big
hear
nose.
that Texas
draw.
draw.
Low draw.
Yeah, you got to show that
there
thing
we go.
off.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I can't wait to dive into your story. I'm really excited too because it's not every day. I think this is just a matter of time. The more I do the show, I'm gonna get to interview somebody
yes, sir.
who came up under the mentorship of two past guests,
Yep.
Chef Evan Hennessey and Chef David Vargas. David was just recently, and Evan. I had Evan on the show like 4 years ago.
No way.
But like the show's evolved so much since then. I wanted to get him back on the show to spotlight his career.
For sure.
And I know that you came up under two dudes who have so much great things to say about you.
Totally blessed.
So I know this is going to be a good interview, man. You're going to have some
For
great,
sure.
no pressure.
Nah, it's all good, man. You know what I'm saying?
But let's get that motivational, inspirational ball rolling with a success quote or mantra. What do you got?
Okay, well, this one might sound a little wacky, but it's if you show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser.
Ooh, if you show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser.
And that goes back to my grandpa right there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up from a very competitive family. Sports is my first passion. You know, and Sam was Ornell's husband, and, you know, spending the weekends over there and stuff like that. It was food, sports, and then all the card games in the world you could play.
Nice.
Uno, Life, poker, Frackle, all these weird different games that we play. And I have two older sisters. So we would love to get Grandpa to lose. We love to make him lose. You know what I'm saying? He would sit there with the sour face on there, and we'd be like, "Why are you so mad, Grandpa?" And he'd say, "You've shown me a good loser. Well, I'll show you a loser." You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's
show me a good loser. I'll show you a loser. I don't know if I'm picking up what you're putting. I mean,
what I'm saying is that, like, you play to win. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you like, he's a sore ass loser. You know, just like I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're playing the competition. So I grew up very competitive family. You know.
Okay.
Basketball, my older sisters, they block my shots and I get mad and whatever, but like, show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser is more of like, you play to win. And in the middle of playing the game, the competition, that's where the fun is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you want to win.
Yeah.
You want to win.
I love it.
You know what I mean? And that's what was big to me.
I think that's a great sentiment too, because like this industry is a competition.
Yep.
It's the game of business, right?
Absolutely.
And there are winners and there are losers. But I feel like if you go into it looking to have fun and looking to even, you know, have fun with those who you're in the game with,
right?
You know,
right?
Then it's so much better,
right? And it's not an attack on anybody else. Like, I don't want to outperform this restaurant or that restaurant. It's more of like your own mental psyche right there. Like, I want to win personally in my mind, in my goals that I want to achieve in life, and that's where that comes from.
But you
right
can
there.
still win and be somebody who doesn't like crush everyone in your path, right? And like even like in your restaurant, you want to have a business where like it's the great game of business where you're making a game out of it and you're competing against the best like yourself yesterday. You know?
Hey, Chef Zach, can you put up a better special than I can? Like, let's compete.
Exactly,
competition like flows through my body from the way I was raised. You know what I mean? And it's not putting anybody down when you don't win or whatever, but like,
there's a book out there.
You play to win, man. Like that's what it is.
It's a great game of business by Jack Stack.
Okay.
And it's a great book that explains exactly what we're talking about. And,
right.
And it can be fun. It can be a game.
Right.
And you got to play to win.
That's it. And the fun is in the competition.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But like, I am a sore ass loser. And you know what I mean? That's where it came from. We'd always be like, "Grandpa, why are you so mad right now?" And that's when he would say that quote to us. You know what I mean? And we'd be like, "All right, Grandpa," and that one stuck with me forever. Even when I, gave a speech at his funeral, he passed away in 2016.
Oh, bummer.
That's one thing I said. He lived a good life though, and that's one thing I said, and I had everybody cracked up laughing because they knew that's what Sam Myska was about. You know what I mean? So like,
I love it, man.
So I carry that one with me right there. And then actually one of my mentors, Chef Vargas, loves that one. He talks about that one all the time as well.
Great way to get this thing started.
You know, for sure.
Where does it make sense to start sharing your story?
Back home in Richmond, Texas, right outside of Houston, I think so. You know, I mean, I grew up, my mother and my 2 older sisters, parents got divorced at an early age, and, you know, saw my dad on the weekends, and watched my mother raise 3 kids as a single parent, put herself through junior college, and then move on to the University of Houston, where she got her master's degree in nonprofit social work. So watching her, you know, it's an 8, 9, 10-year-old, watching her do that while taking care of us in the house, that was like, I mean, what's more competitive than that? Like, she was like, I want a better life for my kids, you know what I'm saying? And that really inspired that work ethic in me, you know what I mean? And that not to lose, you know what I mean? That was like, you know, at the time you're like, cool, okay, mom went to college and mom got this, but then we would go to University of Houston and watch her accept these awards and stuff like that. And she was 42, 43 at the time, and like seeing her do that for,
it's never too late.
Seeing her do that for us 3 kids, and like that shit is inspiring.
Absolutely.
Like, that was like, wow, mom, like, you know what I mean? Anybody else could have, let me just live off child support or whatever, you know, and this, that, but like, she was like, I want a better life for my kids, and I'm gonna go out there and get it. And that was
so
very important and passionate.
Obviously, you learned work ethic from your mom, right? What else did your mom teach you, do you think?
My mom made me cut the grass at 9 years old, man. You know, like,
dude, I get it, man. My parents owned a restaurant when I was 3 years old, and by the time I was, I think, 7 or 8, like I was chopping 50 pounds of potatoes every morning.
I mean, me and my sisters, they're both older than me. We're pretty close in age. One's 2 years older than me. One's 3 years older than me. So we're a tight group, you know. And every day we had a list of chores to do. You know what I mean? And mine was more of the outdoor duty. So 9 years old, pushing a lawnmower. You guys call it weed whacking up here. We call it weed eating. So I had to weed eat. I had to do all these things. Christmas time, I had to get on the roof and hang up all the lights and stuff like that. And the one thing I tell guys now that work with me, you know, just sitting down, talking, shooting the shit, is just like, I was never given an allowance. And that's something that really was instilled in me, that I won't give my kids an allowance. And I have 2 kids. And it just made me value $1. You know what I mean? Like, I was never, all my friends in my neighborhood, little suburb, like, oh yeah, hey, you didn't do shit. Here's $50 a week kind of deal, whatever, 25.
Take the trash out.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh,
here you go. Like me, like, was never given an allowance. These are my expected duties to do to live in that house. And my mom's busting her ass on a job and going to school and stuff like that. How could you know what I mean? It was just like we were a tight knit group kind of deal. And I mean, if I want to go to the movies, here's $20 because you did your chores or whatever, but never given an allowance, man.
I love that.
So I always talk about the first job I had doing dishes at a barbecue restaurant, ironically. I got my first paycheck, $181.
And you're like, wait, I get paid for this?
Dude, I was like, dude, it taught me the value of $1 and the value of what hard work can give to you.
How old were you?
14 years old.
14 years old. So only 5 years before making the move to New Hampshire.
5 years before making the move to New Hampshire, for sure. And at that time, you know, junior high kid, you know, smoking weed. All my buddies had allowance and all that stuff, and I was the freeloader kid, you know what I mean? But we were a tight group, so it was all cool. But like, I got that first paycheck, I could buy that little ounce of weed or whatever, and be like, wow, I'm in, I'm here, yeah. But dude. Like, and as messed up as that sounds, that taught me that hard work gets you what you want. Exactly. You know what I mean? Maybe that shouldn't have been the thing I wanted at the time, but being a kid, you're a kid, you know what I mean? And that was.
So I guess my next question for you is, like, when did you know that this was going to be your path? Because, I mean, at 19, you set up for culinary school, so you must have figured something out early on that you love this, that this is going to be your path.
It's a deep story, I guess. So, I mean, my first passion was sports, you know, and with my family. I mean, I remember my dad when I was in first grade at our beach house sitting me down, and we were watching the Rockets versus Spurs in the Western Conference Finals in 1995, you know what I mean? And watching Akeem Dream Olajuwon do the Dream Shake and go to town, and like, so sports was just instilled in me, you know.
That was a good year for Texas, huh?
That was a great year, back-to-back championships. Everybody talks about Jordan wasn't there, you know, whatever. He came back that second year and got eliminated, so like, you know, we get one. But the competitiveness. So when we would be with my dad and my grandparents, or Nell's and Sam's house, you know, it was food, it was always sports, and it was always board games, poker, Uno, Life, underrated game right there. Everybody play the game of Life, man. That's a good game right there. but it was always competition, you know, and like me playing basketball on the drive with my sisters. And like I said, my sister Brittany, 3 years older than me, would block every shot that I put up. But it was like, that's what we were based on, is competing, grinding, and that kind of like, I don't know, it's just like, and hard work, you know.
So
and
did
then
that translate to the kitchen? Did I cut you short? I didn't mean to cut you short.
100% it translated to the kitchen, for sure. You know, food wasn't my first passion. Again, sports was, you know. But once I found out, like, yeah, you're not going to make it to the major leagues at anything. You know, I played baseball, all-star team, all this stuff. But, like, dude, you can't throw 92 miles an hour or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, and in early 2000s, a lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but I fell in love with that Food Network, you know. Remember when it blew up, you know, like – me and my mom would sit there and watch Emeril Lagasse, bang, boom, bing, all that stuff, you know. So I remember on my my 14th birthday, I was like, I want to cook my own birthday dinner. Like, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the Olive Garden? Do you want to go here, that? You know, a lot of chains down there in the Houston area. Chili's, you know, I love Chili's, but and I was like, no, like, so we went to the store, we bought oysters. I bought the Tony seasoning, like in a little packet right there.
Nice.
And I fried my own oysters, and I was like, wow, like, cool, I can do this. You know what I mean? Like, this is cool. Like, it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was it like when you made that first meal? Like, was there a certain like level of recognition, or like what was that like?
We all ate it and enjoyed it. You know what I mean? My mom made a couple sides or whatever, but it was like, this is cool. Like,
what did it feel like when your family was eating the meal that you cooked for the first time?
Fucking awesome, man. Like, it was like cool. You know, like, I don't know if I keep saying cool, very redundant, but it was like,
it was.
This is fun. Like, I did this. Like, I didn't want it like easy way. I was like, let's go to so-and-so restaurant, whatever. But I was like, I want to make my own meal. Like,
so at what point were you like, okay, this is what I want to make my career in? Like,
well, you know, I did a culinary program in high school, and you know, it was fun. You know, I caught on pretty quick. You know, I'm not saying top of the class, but like, I loved it. I just kind of gravitated towards it, you know, like, this is awesome. You know, like, you know, my older sister, I was a sophomore in high school, and my middle sister was a senior, and we were actually in the same culinary class, which is really cool for me. You know what I mean? So like, now it's cooking circles around her. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to. Sarah doesn't want to hear that right there. Yeah, but I was like, I love this right here. You know what I mean? And so I always like had a passion for food. You know? Maybe it was like, oh, you're smoking weed, and like, here, like, cool, like, we're stoned, let's whip something together in the kitchen, whatever, you know what I mean? But it was like, food was a big part of everything, you know. And obviously going to Ornell's house on the weekends when my dad had us, that's his parents, seeing her cook, we'd all be in the kitchen with her, peeling potatoes, stuff like that. And it just I don't know, it was like, all right, this is something I love to do. So, you know what I mean? So
you found yourself in New Hampshire. I mean, out of all the places you could go, what brought you to New Hampshire?
So when when all three kids were out of high school, I took the hardest route. My sisters, you know, they were great students and got out of there. Once we all graduated, she said, I'm moving back up to New Hampshire to take care of my parents who are getting old in age. And my mom, you know, got a good job up here. And so.
Is your mom from New Hampshire?
She's from Framingham, Mass. Okay. So she's a New Englander that moved down.
Gotcha.
My grandfather from up here in Dover, rest in peace, Bill Martindale. Was an engineer, so he went down to Texas in the 80s, where kind of the engineer was popping off and this and that. And so my mom came to visit and met my dad, and then there you go, get married, 3 kids, you know, and married just a few years, divorced, and then once we were all grown and out of the house, she was like, I'm going back up to my home kind of deal, you know what I mean? And so I was down there, and I was, you know, everybody's going to know about me, but I was a fuck up, you know what I mean? So I got in a lot of trouble.
When you were in Houston, or were you went up to New Hampshire?
No, when I was in Houston. I tried to play it cool in New Hampshire. I got in a little trouble in New Hampshire too, I'm not going to lie. But
we all get into trouble.
Yeah, but so, and this is really redundant, but high school party, me and some friends, and you know, we broke into a barbecue restaurant and stole some beer. And so, and here I am at a barbecue restaurant now. You know what
would you do if somebody broke into your restaurant and stole some beer?
I'd just make them pay me back, and I wouldn't, you know, call the laws on them. But whatever, if I could catch them.
Dumb shit.
17 years old, but, you know, charged as an adult, because in Texas they don't play, man. You know, there's too many people. It's too big of a state. You know what I mean? Like, and so I got put on probation, violated it, and I went to jail for 4 months.
Okay.
You know?
At 17 or 18?
At 18. Okay. So I spent my 19th birthday in jail, Fort Bend County.
But I feel like, I mean, Sometimes the system really fucks people up and it doesn't help them.
My first time ever getting in trouble, but it was a big thing. And Texas doesn't have time to be like, it's a bigger state. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like they just
but I feel like it's better that you did go to jail at the age of 17 or 18. Because at that point in your life, it's just like, it's like any failure. You can get out and start all over again. You can recover so much easier.
For sure. But, you know, I turned 19 in jail. I was there for 4 months, and that was the biggest eye-opener of my life.
How did it open your eyes?
Because I was in there, you know, I was fortunate enough to get like a job, a commissary job or whatever. And it just scared the shit out of me, not necessarily being in jail, but watching grown men get released from jail, not knowing where the fuck they were going to go. You know, like I saw 40-year-old men say, hey, you're done, your time's up. And they would just sit on a doorstep and be like
what? No.
I don't know where I'm going.
Exactly.
And that hit me so hard.
Well, that's the point I'm making. Yeah. Like,
that hit me so hard of like, I don't want to be this. Like,
exactly.
I don't want this life. I don't want to be able to be like, I have no place to go.
Yeah. What was it like when you got the news that you were going to go to jail? When the judge, you know, like made the sentence?
I knew it was going. I mean, I could have finished my probation, but I violated it being a punk ass kid.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew I was going. And again, this is jail. This isn't prison or anything like that. So it's, you know, it's maybe a fist fight here and there, but it's no like what the Oz on HBO. It's nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and man, there was actually a couple of great guys in there that were like. There was 4 people that worked in the commissary department that were like, dude, like you just turned 19 and you're like, what are you doing, dude? You know what I mean? Like, I'm 53, I'm 45. Like, don't be like, you know what I mean? Like, you have so much to offer to this world kind of deal, you know? And like, and they're actually good people, you know? People get in trouble. Good people get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like everybody in there is
people
like
make
fucking
mistakes.
asshole.
People are
like,
up against it.
Everybody hits their downfall and stuff like that. And that was like huge to me. Like, they taught me up, like, Will, like, you have more to offer in this life and that. And then watching guys, again, you know, knowing where they were going, scared the living shit out of me. That's what scared me the most right there. It was like, I don't want to be that guy when I'm 40 of like,
but I mean,
with this pattern and like, I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going. And that just like scared straight. What's that show? Scared Straight? Without someone yelling in my face. It was just like my own mental psyche of like, this is not for me.
You saw a glimpse of your future if you stayed on that path.
I did. Yeah. I 100% did, you know? And when I got out, I moved in with my sister. This was 2007. So I went in January 3rd, got out probably May 30th, and then moved in with my sister. Single mother, you know, helping raise her 4-year-old son. So, and she was a bartender at Baker Street. And they have like chains of Baker Street all over the country or whatever. So she wouldn't get home till really late at night. So I was taking care of my 4-year-old nephew. You know what I mean? And and no car, no nothing. We were in like a little 2-bedroom little shack kind of place, and it was cool. And I actually I had dropped out of high school. And then, so while I was there too, I had these 2 books that I had to complete to graduate and get my diploma. So I did that too at the same time.
Okay, like
and
a GED?
No, not a GED, actually a diploma.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, Houston's weird, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm not lying. Like I went there to downtown Houston to get my diploma, and she's like, cool, here's an English and math book. You know, give me half the money up front, complete these 2 books, and then I'll give you your degree when you get back. I was like, okay, cool. And the answers are all on the back of the book. And she's like, make sure you show your work too. And I was like, okay, so scribble. I actually did it, you know what I mean? Yeah. But then like when I went to turn him back in and give her the other half of the money, she just flipped through it, you know, real quick and was like, put the diploma in the printer. And I'm there with my grandfather, or Nell's husband, Sam. And she's like, do you want your diploma to say William Myska or William Henry Myska? And I was like, you can put Henry in there. That'd be cool, you know? She printed it out, did the stamp of the seal of the state of Texas on it, and said, congratulations, you graduated from high school. And I was like, holy shit. If I knew it was this easy, I probably wouldn't have
showed up.
I probably wouldn't even went to 2 classes, you know what I mean? But so funny. I got my diploma, which got me into McIntosh College. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And it was the middle of that summer. Like I said, I got out probably May 30th, and sitting there really helping my sister out a lot, and she helped me a lot out at the same time too by giving me a place to live because I had nowhere to go. So that 40-year-old guy not knowing where to go, and she let me in. And my mom's was up in Dover, New Hampshire, and she goes, hey, come up for the summer. So the 3 of us went up for a little vacation, and she was talking to me like, hey, there's this culinary school right here. Like, you love cooking, you know what I mean? You did it in high school, you know. You cook those fried oysters there on your 14th birthday, this and that.
Yep.
She's like, so what do you think? So we took a tour of the school, and like, you know, me being from Texas, I'm like, well, New Hampshire, like that shit's just cold and snowy as shit all year round. Like I don't know if I want to go up there. Like
Austin, Texas,
maybe I was ignorant.
About,
you know what I mean? Like maybe I'm ignorant. Like that's way up there, man. I don't know. But then coming up here and seeing how beautiful the summers are, like at that time, it didn't get dark till 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay, like this is cool, you know. So really thought about it for a while and was like, I need to do this because I'm not doing anything right now. You know, I have nothing to my name. I was doing dishes at a local restaurant.
Is this when you were working at what is it, Strawberry Bank? It's with Chef Hennessey. Was that your?
This is before all that came up here. So so my mom brought me up. You know, like toured the school, McIntosh College, all that stuff, and then I was like, what do I have to lose? You know what I mean? Like what I have to lose is I got to leave my family behind. Ornell, Sam, my father, my sisters, my nephew, and all that. But like, I got to take care of myself too. You know what I mean? Like after. And
that's a huge lesson right there. I mean, you got to take care of yourself before you can expect to take care of anybody.
Definitely. After those 4 months, I was like, I'm stagnant right now. You know what I mean? Like you're helping me out, I'm helping you out, but like I got to do something for me. You know what I mean? I'm 19, like, and so I made the move up here, and it was late September of 2007. And my mom really set me up well. You know, I had a car, you know, it was great, nice. You know, and really took into the McIntosh the Atlantic Culinary Academy program. I missed the Le Cordon Bleu, but I hit the second program there. You know what I mean?
So what was was it a 2-year program?
It was an 18-month program.
18-month program?
Yep,
okay.
Absolutely.
And that was there when you went and you started working at the Dunaway.
So the Dunaway is my internship.
Okay.
So I actually worked with this lady named Patty Roche, and she was in her 40s, early 50s, and she was there to get her not the 18-month program, but like a 6-month program to teach the cooking school at Stonewall Kitchen.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, I need a job. Like, I need money too, I've paid for gas and this and that. And she's like, hey, come up to Stonewall Kitchen and talk to me. Like, I'll get you a job.
Nice.
And the next day I went up. At that time we didn't have on the phone, so I had to print out the Google directions, like take exit 7 off of 95. You know what I mean? I got there, I talked to her. I started working in the cafe at Stonewall Kitchen, my first job ever up here. And I remember sitting down with the manager, and she's like, how much money do you want to get paid? You know, dishwasher, right? And I'm like, minimum wage in Texas is like $5.50 an hour that time. I was like, $7 an hour would be good right here. And she goes, well, minimum wage is $9, so we're going to give you $9. I was like, oh,
even better.
I was like, okay, cool. Sweet. You know what I mean? So she really, put me under her wing and really kind of guided me towards that, which is cool.
I do like to say behind every great restaurant is great people, and we are a byproduct of those who have influenced us. So who was she one of these people that you think really influenced you as a young person?
She was a mother to me, for sure, when I moved up here.
What were the biggest lessons she taught you?
Show up on time, be punctual, you know what I mean? Like, just keep your head down and hard work. But I had the hard work instilled in me. Yeah. You know, I just slipped up and messed up a few times. Yeah. But the hard work comes back from my mother, my father, my grandparents, and all that stuff, and my competitiveness. So you give me an opportunity, I've already messed up. I already just got out of jail freaking 5 months ago. Like, I'm not fucking up. You know what I mean? Kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I kept my head down, and I worked there for about a year or so.
All right. And then 6 months later, you did your internship.
I did my internship
at the Dunaway.
Evan Hennessey at the Dunaway, man.
Yeah.
And that was amazing.
And, and that must have been what was it like going from, you've worked in kitchens before this, right?
Dishwasher, though. Prep cook, never like a line cook kind of thing.
But did you ever work in a kitchen where the executive chef had to work with the likes of, a linear restaurant group? And
man. No, Evan was the first one, really. And I remember walking into that kitchen, they were doing pre-meal, and they were all sitting down, or staff meal, doing their thing. And I just walk in, like, with my little resume I typed up, like, I need an internship, whatever. And he took me under his wing right away, man. Nice. And, that man showed me a lot, man. And the main thing I take from Evan is attention to detail.
Yes.
The attention to detail that guy has.
Paint that picture of how he taught you attention to detail. Like, or was it a verbal thing, or just by
watching him.
Paint that picture.
By watching him, and here's our prep list. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're downstairs. The Dunaway has like a downstairs kitchen, then you go upstairs to the top. And I didn't cut the onions right. Trash can. Do them again. Kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have culinary school. They were closing anyway, so they kind of pat you on the back. Cool, okay, we'll move you along. But, like, attention to detail. Evan, no, do this right every time. Like, show you once kind of person. You know what I mean? I think that's what he loved about me, because I grew up from such a competitive nature, from playing those card games and playing sports and like
What was
don't
it-
want to lose like that. I was like, yes,
What was
yes,
it
chef.
like when he slid your onions into the trash?
I didn't say a damn thing. Just like, yes, sir. Yes, chef.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and he wasn't an asshole about it. He was
Just
helping me
this
grow
is
and
not
evolve.
The standard.
This is not the
I'm
standard.
communicating to you that
Yep.
this is not the standard.
Absolutely.
Do it again.
Do it again. So
Yeah.
I made sure, you know, maybe I was a little slower the next time doing it because I wanted to get it perfect, but like, yes, chef. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
So it's the attention to detail. It's also the significance of having standards and
Absolutely.
not folding
For sure.
anything that's less than
sure.
the standard.
and then once you do it once, you're expected to do it every single time like
Yeah.
that. And that's something I preach here too. Is like, if you show me that you did it once, how could you do it another way?
So how did he keep the pressure on you guys to maintain that standard?
I mean, I was intimidated, man. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Honestly, like, you're a very, you know, well-renowned chef, and
Yeah.
like,
And we'll link to
I don't
that.
want to let him down. I don't want to. My thing is, I don't want to let anybody down. Like, if
Yeah.
you give me an opportunity, I want to make sure like
Yeah.
I come through for you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, so if I had to go home and dice an onion on my own time, that's what I would do. You know, things back at my house just to make sure like I'm coming in there. You know,
Yeah.
I remember the first restaurant week we worked. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, chef, like, you know, like I'm scared, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably shouldn't have said that, but I'm, you know, at 20 at this point. You know what I mean? He, you know, pulled me aside. He's like, hey, you got this, man. Like, trust me, I'm here with you. He said, I might let you take a little hit or whatnot, but I'll never let you fall. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
won't let you fail. And like hearing those words were like, okay, like, you know, he saw me shaking in my boots. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man.
but for him saying like that, you know what I mean? Like, I'll let you take a little hit, but I'm never gonna let you fail.
I love that
I won't
too.
let you fall. You know what I'm
And-
saying? And
yeah.
that made me like, that boosted a little bit of confidence in there of like, he's got me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
and
I'm gonna give it my all.
We'll
you know
be
what I mean?
sure to link to Evan and David Vargas's episodes in today's chat. If you guys,
Yeah.
if you haven't listened to those episodes, both Evan and we're going to talk about David, I'm sure, in a real soon bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But back to these lessons you learned from Evan. You're painting the picture of how he was teaching you guys standards, of that constant gentle pressure of just being like, that's not right, do it again.
Right.
What else did he teach you? How else? did
And
he
it was
train you?
never in like a mean like yell at you, throw a pan against the wall. It was just like, do it again. He's very calm
Yeah.
and approachable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And just, you know, to build me up, man. You know, I think we just, you know, he's a sports guy too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not to keep talking about sports, but I think we
That's your
had that
thing.
kind of bond
Yeah,
right there,
it's a
man.
connection.
And just I think he might have saw in me that I really wanted to learn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I wasn't hey, I'm sick today, I can't work. I was there every day that he needed me to be there every
Mm-hmm.
day, and I just put my best foot forward every day, and I think he appreciated that. But
I love that.
but he was just always very patient with me and showed me the ropes, man.
Yeah, man. And I love how you mentioned that you just didn't want to let him down.
No.
And I think that is a very common trait in hospitalitarians, people in this
Yeah.
industry. Is like, we're so driven by we just want to make sure people like us. We
Yeah.
don't want to let you down. We want to get your approval.
You gave me the chance, man.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
like what can I, you know what I mean? Like that's just, you know, I can't let you down. I won't mental toughness. You know what I mean? I won't let you down.
Yeah, I
you know what
love
I'm saying?
that. I
So
love
whatever you
that.
need me to do, I'm gonna do it for you.
So you followed him from the Dunaway to Stages.
Yeah, so the Dunaway closed. You know, it got sold or whatnot, and I ended up working at Abenaki Country Club for a little bit.
Okay.
Just in the meantime, you know, and I met my that's where I met my wife at the Abenaki Country Club. Worked for some talented chefs there too, and then that was only a seasonal. It's a seasonal.
That's in Dover, right?
No, it's in Ryle. That's
Oh, okay.
Abenaki.
Oh,
That's
all
the,
right.
yeah. You gotta be
How
the member.
dare I?
That's Governor Sununu. You know, all the big Dan Brown, all the big names
Yeah, right
there.
on
You
the
know.
water, the ocean.
So yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I was, you know, a line cook
Isn't
there.
it right across from the Wentworth?
No, it's back. It's right off the beach, like by Janice Beach
Oh, yeah,
and all
yeah, yeah,
that.
that's
You know,
right.
you take the back way there.
Doesn't Dan Brown have like a house on that golf course?
I
something
think
like
he
that?
does something like
The
that.
author
But like,
of Angels and Demons.
yeah,
and-
exactly. So you get all the big names that are there. Like it's a bougie country club,
Yeah.
you know. And so like they were gracious enough to have me work there, and
Any key mentors there?
William Yeaton, Chef Billy Yeaton. Yeah.
Okay.
At the time, he's the executive chef now for the past 10 years. At the time, he was a line cook.
Okay.
John Willis was the head chef there, and John
Okay.
Willis was really good to me too.
Any
You know what I'm saying?
transformative times during this period of your life? Like, as far as when I say transformative, like things that you weren't doing right before, or that changed you in a way because you saw it being done right.
I mean, I just went from one to the other. I was
Yeah.
grinding. I'm trying to make money. I'm
Yeah.
trying to have money in my pocket, basically, like trying to get my hustle on.
So how long were you there?
I was there from September until they close at the New Year's Eve.
Gotcha.
And they're closed for about 2-3 months or whatever. But me, still, I need a steady income. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So zoom to 30,000 feet real quick. From there, what was the path you took?
I knocked on Jethro's back door in January. They just had a guy. You know, I had worked with the guy named Dave Pettingale at the Dunaway, and he was working at Massimo's, and I was just reaching out like, it's like January. How do I get a job? No one's hiring in January up here. You know what I mean? Like, you're shrinking your staff down or whatever. And he was like, yo, one of the Garmager cooks is actually leaving, so like I got a spot for you. So I knocked on that door. I went in there and talked to Jethro, Massimo. They hired me, and that was a great experience because here I come from a country club where they put out great food, but a lot of it's banquet foods, you know what I'm saying, like that. It's like, hey, make staff meal, you know, like
you're not plating so much.
Yeah, you go in there and find like, oh, this is chicken breast from like yesterday's banquet. Let's put some Chianti dressing over it, and like, here you go. And like, I'm the man. I just met my girlfriend who's now my wife there. This and that.
Country club's a great place to meet a wife, man.
It is. Yeah, there you go. You're the best one. And then so I go in and knock on Jethro's door, and he's like, cool, yeah, you know, like we'll take you on in a week or whatever. And I went in there, and the first thing's like, go make staff meal. You know, so I go into the walk-in, and everything's from scratch, everything's fresh, and I'm like, fuck, you know, like at this time I'm 21 or whatever. I'm like, I just came from being like, oh, you're the man at the country club, and now you're here, and like, it's like, shit, all right, let's boil some pasta with red sauce kind of deal, you know what I was
waiting for you to be like, so I grabbed the fillets off the top.
No, I would never touch that. I was like more looking for like, do you have any like leftover foods from yesterday that I can just like reheat or whatever? And so Jethro was like, he's my big brother, man. He was at my wedding. He brought me from here down to here, but built me back up. You know what I mean? And like that, and that's exactly what I needed as a cocky little 21-year-old.
So that's a great conversation to have. How do you break somebody down, but not breaking them down so bad to the point where you can't build them back up? How do you do that gracefully?
You troll them, you know what I mean? You give them a hard time, you know what I mean? And like, I don't think maybe anybody could have took that, but again, going back to that mental toughness, you know, I'm not the strongest guy physically, but mentally, man, you know, like there was one point me and Jethro got in a fight where we didn't talk to each other for 4 months.
Oh man,
he's gonna love to hear this one. You know what I mean? And there's only a 4-man line, so like he wouldn't talk to me. We got in a fight. You know what I'm saying? And he wouldn't even talk to me. He'd tell the sous chef, "Hey, tell Will to go check his antipasta vegetables." I'd be like, "Man, you're right here. You can't tell me," kind of deal, whatever. But I was like, I'm not quitting. Like I'm not. You know, if you're gonna let me go, dude, I'm not quitting. What was
so? What was the fight about?
About other chefs, like, you know, like I was like something about sweeping, like I was like, well, he's a better chef than you, and you go, boy, you don't even know what a chef is, you know, that's what he told me. And he just, you know, he's stubborn just like I am. I'm super stubborn, you know what I mean? And I just will never forget those 4 or 5 months, man, of like just, you know, kind of tell me what to do, but wouldn't talk to me. Like before, we were like brothers, wrestling, fighting all the time. He'd throw me in the walk-in, you know, we have so much fun together, and it was like, not talking to you, but I wouldn't quit. I would not quit on him.
I love that.
Because I was like, you're not gonna make me walk out this door. You know, if you want me to walk out this door, then you could tell me it's time to leave, but I'm not doing it. You know, and after those couple months passed, you know, I think he saw that, and then the relationship flourished again. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I think we're all gonna have that. And not to say that this was you, but we're all gonna have that, like somebody whose head's a little bit bigger than it should be, or a little cockier than they think they are.
And it was me.
Where they came.
It was my head.
You can say it was you, but I'm not gonna say it was you. Yeah. But like and when that happens, it's inevitable. Like we're gonna have young people who just are still learning. And they think they've learned it all, and they still have so much to learn. Right. We have to bring them down. We have to humble them.
It's the best thing for me. And so here we are with a very, you know, Massimo's has been 25 years now. You know what I mean? Like a great restaurant. Jethro had been there for so many years, and like a little 21-year-old running his mouth, like, you know, like told me what it was, wouldn't speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Both super stubborn, but like we worked through it. You know what I mean? I think he saw that, like, I ain't giving up on you, man.
I love that.
And
so how long were you there?
So I was there for about a year, and then that's when I left. Evan approached me to open up stages at One Washington.
Okay.
And so
that's gotta be a compliment, right?
Yeah, it was awesome to have him come back.
It was just him and maybe one or two other people.
John Flintosh, who was a sous chef, who is now the general manager at Carl's Meat Market down here, who I love to death too. You know what I mean? So it was like, hey, we're opening this place. You know what I mean? And with his concept too. And what's really helped me out now at Ornell's is, like, at that time, Evan had a catering company called Flavor Concepts as well. And so, like, now with all the catering we do, like, doing all those catering events, and, like, Evan was doing, like, high-end catering events, like, filet mignon, you know what I mean? Plated things like that. Now we're like, ours are more like, here's your brisket, here's your pulled pork. I mean, it's barbecue, you know what I'm saying?
So
but
what did he teach you? You say you learned a lot about catering. Like what were the most important things as far as what's affected your bottom line and affected your ability to execute and be profitable? Like what were those things he taught you?
Obviously, again, going back to attention to detail, but hard work, being prompt, being on time, and just not saying no, just going after everything was a big thing with him. You know what I mean?
Specifically to the catering world.
Yeah.
Because you said you were doing the catering with them. Did he teach you about the business of catering?
I wasn't really behind the numbers time at that time.
Okay.
I was kind of low man on the totem pole there, but just watching how we would set up and the prep going into it and the execution of it. I mean, usually, people don't want to hear this, but like something doesn't always go wrong when you're catering, but like you have to always work on the fly. I remember sauteing corn in a hotel pan, over an open fire. You know what I mean? Because we needed to plate one more thing of corn or whatever. Yeah. But that's what you do. You know what I mean? Like
MacGyver some shit up.
That's like, hey, sorry, I don't have corn for you. You can't tell somebody that at a wedding. You know what I mean? You MacGyver your shit up. You know what I'm saying? So so all those experiences and that's wasn't a lack on Evan at all. I mean, maybe I didn't pack enough stuff here and there, but like always just kind of on the fly. Like we're not ever gonna say no. We're not gonna stop doing this and that. Like we just kept it moving, and that taught me a lot, and that teaches me a lot now with catering with Ornell's, or when I was catering with Vida too. Like,
so how long were you at Stages?
I was at Stages for 2 years. 2 years. Yep. And the pop-up dinners that we used to do all the time there, we did themed dinners, Alice in Wonderland, all these different ones,
so
Delmonico's.
When you say these pop-ups, are these other restaurants coming to Stages?
No, so we would do themed dinners like once a month or once every 2 months or whatever, and like obviously you're learning about a different cuisine, like it's very that time was really molecular too, you know what I'm saying? So I learned about a lot of the molecular gastronomy and stuff like that. I still use Activa to this day to bind proteins together for our chicken roulas and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So like just his patience and just I don't know, like just learning, you know what I mean? What is it? Liquid nitrogen, you know what I mean? Things like that, like making ice cream on the fly, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Engaging with customers because you're right there in front of them.
It's
and
a cool experience.
Me being kind of awkward, you know what I'm saying? Like it was hard for me to like talk to people. Like I don't want to overstep anybody's boundaries. Like they know way more than I do, but just like a sponge, trying to soak all that in at once was very important to me. You know what I mean?
So why did you leave?
I left because my wife was pregnant with our first daughter. Okay. And I was like, I needed just a little bit more income. You know what I mean? So I was like, you can work at one place for 40 hours a week or whatnot. So I got on my grind to work 2 different places. And that was a tough year. That was 2013. So I can get 35 here, I can get 35 here. You know what I mean? To offset it, it's a long week, but like you got to cap it when you're a restaurateur. Like, hey, you're at 40 or 39. Hey, we got to get you out of here, kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
you don't want people making overtime.
Left on great terms. I mean, I even the next year helped out at a couple weddings with Evan too, and love him to death to this day. And we play basketball all the time too in the mornings before we go to work. Like that's my guy right there. Dude. But it was, and that's when I first started at Vida, before Chef Vargas was there, when it was Jed Benarski. I was, they put out a Craigslist ad, and I remember applying for it and going in there on Memorial Day.
And I realized this Vida Cantina isn't your first restaurant.
Right.
But the reason why I chose to take the break there is because I feel like you treated it like you owned it.
Absolutely, I did. I mean, I was given a great opportunity. Like I said, when I left Stages, I worked 2 jobs. Massimo's took me back part-time. And Jed Benarski, the first chef at Vida, brought me in for the morning. So I was doing doubles, 6 days a week because I was paying for a wedding.
So you're working at Massimo's and Vida?
Yep, okay. Vida in the morning, then I go to Massimo's. First it was Vida in the morning, then Stages. And then once we got married, I was like, I need to go to Massimo's. I just need to generate my income a little bit more because we had our daughter was on the way due in November. We got married in May 2014. So I was like, I got to find a way to hustle and just like
I love that, man.
Legally hustle and generate my income. And I just know like taking 2 part-time jobs, I could, I sat down, did the numbers. And I was like, I can get it. 26.
Yeah, I mean
26. So I have a baby on the way. I just got married.
Window. Yeah, where you can work 70, 80 hours a week on the line.
That was a grind, man. That was
like it's in your early 20s.
And I would leave Vida in the morning, and I would sit in the the municipal lot there in Portsmouth, and I would take like a 30-minute nap, and then I'd be like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the great thing about Massimo's too is like they had so much staff that time, and they still took me back. You know what I'm saying? Like, their labor costs must have been through the roof, but it didn't matter because I was part of the family.
But you
and
also
they brought me back
probably earned that right to come back.
And I appreciate them for that to this day.
Yeah, I mean, they knew what they were getting.
They definitely
you did hustle, you
did
grind.
And I came back with a little bit more talent, you know, not to be conceited, because I've learned from Evan for a couple. So like I came back and I could bring a little bit more to the table than I think when I left.
That's a satellite lesson, an indirect lesson right there.
Yeah.
Don't hold grudges in this industry, man.
Right.
If somebody leaves you for an opportunity, even if it's a lateral opportunity, but it's an opportunity that's going to give that person that's leaving you a whole new perspective, and they're going to grow as a professional. This industry is about everybody else but you. And when you have that mentality, it comes back.
Right.
It will come back to you. And guess what?
Yeah.
You did go back.
I did.
With a whole new set of skills.
I did.
That made that restaurant better. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for you to say that, but I can say it. And I'm sure they recognize it too. You know?
Right.
So by letting you come back, you know, you're giving you're giving it back to the restaurant. Now you're bringing those skills that you learned, and well, maybe not, but you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, it definitely was. But the way they opened their arms to me to come back was really cool, and it meant a lot. You know what I mean?
That. So what was it like? Because this is the first time you worked in David Vargas's kitchen, right?
Yep. So a year later, David took over for Jed, and it was you know, he sat us all down one by one, like, what are your goals? What are your passions? What are you doing?
So who's Jed?
Jed McSharry was the opening chef of Vida Cantina, and he was there for a year. He's the one that hired me or whatnot. So I was still on that team, still on that 9 to 2 every day, Monday through Friday kind of grind.
Gotcha.
And then Chef took over the following year. So Jed was 1 year there, and then he had bigger opportunities in New York. Him and his now wife, and they opened up, you know, a farm and did their thing. So Chef Vargas came in, you know, and you know, sat us all down one by one. What are your goals? Like, what do you do here? And I was like, you know, I'm the morning guy.
Dude.
You know, I'm trying to, you know, getting married. I just got married. I have a daughter on the way in November, and I'm just, you know, I work at Massimo's at night and here. And he could easily been like, yeah, man, you know, I need a full-time guy, not a part-time guy or whatever. But he's like, I think he was compassionate for the fact that I had a kid on the way or whatnot. And then knew my background a little bit, so he's like, cool, you know, like, we get there. And I mean, I went to work every day, you know what I'm saying? We talk about that mental toughness. Like, I just like,
and I'm sure at this point his kids are probably pretty young still too. I know he's got a couple girls, right?
No, he has a daughter and a son. Yep, Kavika and Nia. So
and they're, I mean, he knows what it's like to be in the industry and raising a couple kids, for sure.
He could have kicked me out though for a full-time guy in a second, you know, but he you know, he kept me on, you know, and that's when our work, not only working relationship, but our friendship blossomed too. You know, him being from you know, Orange County, California, me being from Houston, we're both kind of outsiders here in New England. And we bonded over like movies, like The Wood, you know, like different old school Love and Basketball, things like that. You know what I mean? Like that, we kind of like, I mean, it's different. You know, it's different in California than it is in Houston than it is up here. You know what I mean? So I think like right away, man, and he's hilarious. Like he can troll with the best of them just like I can. So me and him, we would sit in the hall every morning. We would crack jokes, and we would just built just such a great relationship.
And I love it. And like, I love listening to these stories, and I love hearing the little nuggets that come out of the mouths of my guests, and like the little nugget that just came out there. And I don't even know if you guys hear it sometimes. But the thing that he sat down with you and he asked you what your goals were, what your ambitions were. And he did that with everybody. And I think that not enough chefs, not enough owners care about where your people are trying to go. Take us to that moment.
Well, so I've never been in that position before, but I can like put myself in his shoes a little bit of like, you're taking over a whole new staff of a guy that just left. Like, who's loyal to this guy? It's like, I don't like this new guy come in. Who's that? Like that. Like, that must be the hardest fucking shit to do. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't had to experience it yet. You know what I mean? But like, I can only imagine he handled it with such grace, and like, he didn't let anybody go. He gave everybody an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And that speaks so highly of Chef Vargas right there.
Absolutely. But even I think the other big lesson too is if you know where your people are going or what their ambitions are, you can play to those ambitions. You can, if you know what somebody wants, you can give it to them. Right. And too often we don't ask, like, what do you want? What do you need? What's going to make you happy? What's your vision for yourself? Right. How can I help you get there?
Absolutely. And that's what he preaches.
And you have to fucking know this shit, because you have to get it out, because how are you going to help if it is about everybody else? Right. Then how are you going to make it about them if you don't know where they're trying to go? Right. Definitely. You know? And so the fact that he sat down to take the time to find out how he could serve, or where, like, you need that alignment. You need to understand.
I mean, from the dishwasher to the chef the sous chef at the time, he sat every single person down. Like,
nobody will give an F about you if you don't give an F about
so cool
them.
to me right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at that time, I didn't know my goals. I mean, my goal was to make money. You know what I mean? I didn't have like.
So what'd you tell him? And that reflecting back at the time, did you tell him that your goal was to make money?
Yeah, absolutely. I said, you know, I'm just grinding right now. You know, a kid on the way. He just got married. Like, I'm trying to just grind and work as many places or as many things as I can, just to bring income into my family. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna ever sit down. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna keep going. You know what I mean? If it's not here and that doesn't work out, it's fine. I'm gonna apply at 5 different places and try to get there, kind of deal. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, man, like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You can stay here.
Did he take that as an answer, or did he inspire you to like to maybe make it more?
As the weeks went on, he chirped in my ear. He's so much. He you know, that's my man right there. He
chirps in your ear?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, what do you want? You know, you're gonna be 30. What do you want to do? You want to be a 30-year-old line cook? You want to be a 32-year-old line cook?
Nice.
Like, okay, chef. I know, chef. Yeah. And at the time, I think it was maybe about a year later, he had 2 sous chefs because he was actually helping out at Jumpin' Jay's too. Mm-hmm. So he was at Vida
I think he was at Dos Amigos for a while too, wasn't he?
That was more recently, but like during this time of like the 2016, 15, 16 era, you know, Jay had asked him to help out at Jumpin' Jay's a little bit too. So he split his time up, you know, like that's hard on him. Like, you're just inheriting your baby right now. And then now you're asked to go somewhere else too. So you're doing both things. So he had 2 sous chefs and all that stuff. And I think it's when he split off, he's like, okay, I need a chef de cuisine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we're in the whole, you know, you prepping, laughing, talking about sports like we always do. Yeah, F the Lakers, F the Rockets, this and that. And I was like, hey, man, I didn't know you were giving out CDCs. You know, I just said it to him casually, like with a smile on my face, like, sous chef, cool, but I didn't know you were giving out chef de cuisines. And I saw his eyes kind of light up a little bit, you know what I mean? And
he's like, you just told me you wanted a paycheck.
Yeah, well, because earlier, like, you know, when he gave me the position of a butcher position, you know, so I'd come in at 7 a.m. and do all the proteins for him, break down the bellies, cure the bellies, confit them, this and that, you know. And then like a month later, you know, because to set your schedule up with the child, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just you and your wife, it's like grandma too. Like, you're messing with everybody's schedules. Like, I just had this all in place. Like, I can't do it right now when he asked me to be the sous chef, you know? Yeah. It's like, I just can't right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm flattered. I appreciate the opportunity, whatever. So another year rolls around and he gave out a CDC to somebody, and I was just like, okay. Wow, okay. He's giving out CDCs now, man. Like, that's one tier up right there, you know? So I told him, I looked at him, I said, I didn't know you were giving out CDCs, you know? And his eyes buckled, and a month later he sat me down. He's like, you want to be the chef de cuisine here? And I talked to my wife about it. I was like, absolutely. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
did he ever have the conversation with you about what he saw in you and why he valued you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he saw my hard work every day. You know, he saw that I could, you know, come up with specials and things like that. I mean, you know, coming from Evan, you know, coming from Jethro, like, he saw that I was, you know, I wasn't stagnant. I wasn't lazy. Whatever's asked for me, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anybody else there was, but like, just a hard worker, man. Like, I don't have much to my name but my hard work. You know what I mean? Yeah. My name's kind of shot the shit, but so my hard work is what I pride myself on. You know what I mean?
But he never said like, hey, like, you're getting this opportunity because.
I mean, he did, definitely. Like, I want you. He wanted me. Like, I want you. And
did you say why?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not in words, but just kind of like our daily conversations and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, not sit down, here's a list I'm going to write out for you, but he definitely saw, like, I want you. Like, if I'm not going to be here, I want you to be the one that's here for me right now. You know
so this is around the time, I mean, if you're chef de cuisine, this is around the time you're starting to learn about the business.
The business.
You're not just cooking anymore.
That's the tough.
You're not just coming in the morning. You're not just doing the prep cook.
This is May 2016. So, and yeah, it was I worked hard, but then you have the other element of managing people. And that was the toughest thing, and that's one big thing that he, as my mentor, has really taught me. You know, you can manage people, a business, all on the same line, but he taught me how you have to manage the individual person. You know what I mean? Like, I have to approach this person different than I approach that person to still get my point across of what I need both of you guys to do. Yeah. But I can't approach you guys both the same ways. Almost like a chameleon. You have to, like, and I think that's very important.
He taught you that.
He taught me that. People don't react the same to how you're going to come off at them. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know your staff, and you have to know the way some people you have to kind of hold their hand when you tell them like what you need from them. Some people you can be straight up blunt with it.
Yep.
Like you can't just like, it's not a, it's gray. It's not black and white, man. And he taught me that, and that was the hardest thing for me to do.
How'd you overcome it?
With his guidance, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With him in my corner, you know, talking to me. You know what I mean? It was hard as shit at first, dude.
Without mentioning names, give me an example of somebody that was hard for you to lead, that you went to him and said, I'm struggling. Like, what advice do you have for me? How do I do this?
Just, you know, someone who's older than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want this younger kid telling me, like, what to do or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So how do you approach that? You know, sit them down like, hey, you know, and, like, call it the compliment sandwich, you know. First you leave with like, dude, I love you having you here, like, you know, blah 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 blah.
And
you know what I mean?
love
like
you even more if
but I need you, like, if you could really help me out, like it would really help me out a lot if you could do this, you know what I'm saying? And then follow it back up with like, let you know that like I appreciate everything you do. You know what I mean? He taught me that compliment sandwich kind of thing, and I think that was a great approach right there. You know what I mean? I almost want to eat that compliment.
So he taught you about leadership. He taught you that you had to match people where they're at. What about like any other lessons on leadership that stand out, or what about business in general?
Numbers.
Okay,
food costs,
teach you about numbers?
Cost of good, you know what I mean? Your COGS, everything like that, you know what I mean? Like every month we'd sit down with the numbers, like, hey, this is what our labor cost is at, you know, how can we cut this down, you know? Our food costs, you know, liquor costs wasn't really our thing at that time, but like, how can we help them out too? You know, like, what do we have in here that they can use a drink out of? You know, is it a carrot? You know what I mean? Can you juice a carrot and make a nice little mezcal?
What's that do when you start using things from back of house in front of house? How's that?
It's fucking awesome.
How does it affect the bottom line?
It doesn't affect it. It improves the bottom line because now you're not wasting anything. You know what I mean? And you're helping out the whole team at once. You know what I'm saying? You're not just worried about your food costs. You're also helping the bar out too.
Give me some next level shit that he taught you that is, it's out there, but it's not necessarily in all kitchens that's getting done. As far as managing the numbers, as far as using technology to manage something, or is there anything like that comes to mind? And maybe it might not be next level shit because you guys are. I mean, it might not feel like it too because of the law of relativity.
I don't think it's like a next level shit. I just think it's him like being on me every day, calling me every day, being on my ass every day in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's get into that. Like, what is that? Like, paint the picture of getting on your shit in a good way.
My energy. Energy would be the first one. Great stories. I remember, you know, he went on vacation, rightfully so. He's busted his ass here or whatever. Comes back from vacation. We go to New York to do food and wine. And then we both have the Monday off, you know, after he did the weekend of food and wine. Took Monday off. I took Monday off. And then we come back Tuesday, and he's doing a pop-up at Tinius. Yep. You know, when Mark Siegel was there or whatnot. And so I come in Tuesday morning with them, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck, man, the rice wasn't put away properly. This wasn't put away properly. I just fucking busted my ass fucking 9 days straight, and I was pissed. Like, and you could see how pissed I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a slammer or anything like that, but I was just like, fucking, I'm mad. Again, competitive. I'm just fucking pissed. Like, just busting my ass, and you guys had the slowest Monday ever, and like, you can't put your shit away, you know what I'm saying? And he was so mad at me, dude. I remember, you know, he didn't approach me then, you know what I'm saying? He went to go do his pop-up. Then he called me at the end of the night, and he's like, hey, wait there. Don't go home yet. I want to talk to you, you know? Ooh. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we sat inside. Everybody else was gone. We sat in the booth, and we went back and forth at each other, you know what I'm saying? About energy, you know, like, my food sucked tonight at Tinius because I was so pissed at you with your energy. I was like, that has nothing to do with me. And we get back and forth on it, But then at the end of the day, he's like, your approach is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you can't stomp around here and be upset all day because your staff's going to feel your energy, and that's just going to be a shitty-ass day for my restaurant. You know what I'm saying? If you have a problem with what happened yesterday, why don't you reach out to the person who was in charge yesterday and just have a civilized conversation with them, kind of deal. That's how you handle it, and that relieves the pressure off your shoulders too. Yeah. If they accept it and they understand, I'm sorry, chef, whatever, then you move forward with it. If they're pig-headed about it, then you take a different approach with it after that too. But like, listening to that and having him scream in my face, right, you know, from where we're sitting right now, you know what I mean? And like, and he had all the right to. Again, you know, at this time I'm 27, you know what I mean? Like, and
again, I think the underlying message here is you have to be able, and that's probably why his eyes lit up when you said, hey, chef, you handing out CDCs? Because he knew that he probably could communicate with you in the way he had to to move, like to run a business, because he could be direct, because he could say
Right.
what's, and not everybody, like
Right.
you mentioned earlier, not everybody's the same exact way, but sometimes you
Right.
just need somebody who's second in command, who you can get to the fucking point with.
And I went
because
home.
you don't have time.
And I went home so pissed after that. I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I'm
Yeah.
fucking here busting my ass. You know what I mean? Like, what did I do wrong? And it took a couple of days to be like, you know what? Like, shit, I understand what he's saying. You know
That
what
was
I'm
my
saying?
next question.
You know what I mean? Like, shit, that's what I understand what he's saying.
So
like,
what did you do wrong in reflection in the man you
what
are
I did
today?
wrong was I
Yeah.
stomped around with a fucking like a little asshole all day long, you know, like mad, and people, hey, what's going on, chef? I'm good, I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a way to go approach service. You
So
know
the
what
same
I'm saying?
situation happens in December of 2020. Same exact thing happens.
Yep.
What are you doing?
You pull somebody aside and you have a adult conversation with them, and you just talk to them normally, like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, you know, you didn't do this, that, like.
Is there a reason why? Are you okay? Did something happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what was wrong last night? Like,
Yeah.
is it okay? You know what I mean? Like, and you just have a civilized conversation with somebody instead of being passive aggressive and stomping your feet like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And it's like, okay, this is what you did. This
Yep.
is the standard. Thank you, Evan Hennessey.
Yep.
And throw that shit in the trash.
Right, for sure.
Because we're bringing it back to what the expectation is, to what the standard
Definitely.
is. And then you're not correcting the person. You're correcting the action.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
You're bringing it
Exactly.
back. And
For
it's
sure.
that constant, gentle pressure. Man,
Yep.
Danny Meyer has been getting some love from me the past couple days.
Mhm.
But it's that constant, gentle pressure of like, this isn't, you're just bringing things back to standard. And it's always going to drift.
Yep.
You can't lose your shit because it's not worth it.
Right.
You're going to drive yourself crazy, and you're going to bring down the energy of the team when you do shit like that.
Definitely.
I love it. Thank you for getting into that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, the year's 2016. Chef D Cuisine. What year did Ornell's open?
We opened March 22nd, 2018.
2018.
So,
2 years later.
2016 was a big year for Vida, too, because we filmed Triple D with Guy
Yep.
Fieri
Yep.
In May, and then it aired on November 4th, 2016. And from then, it was
Off to
just,
the races.
man, dude, you don't, you know, it was
You
crazy.
found sixth gear.
You know, you get Phantom Gourmet, and like sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, we're gonna show your episode, you know, tomorrow." But like Phantom Food Network and Triple D, like they're too big for that. They're not gonna be like, "Hey, we're gonna air your episode tomorrow." So like, all of a sudden you get phone calls at like 11 o'clock. You go in the next day and like, I need a pig head. I want a pig head. I want a pig head. And like from then on, man, it just took off. It was a
crazy.
beautiful thing to see. You know what I'm saying? And like, we crushed it, man.
Yeah.
We crushed it that next year, and,
So-
and they're still crushing it to this day. Like that was such a big boost.
From 2016
Yep.
to 2018, any moments of transformation, any moments of growth, any moments of you fucking up?
Oh, of course, there's a big fuck up in between there. Getting in trouble with the law. I fought the law, and the law won for sure.
Yeah.
2017.
You didn't learn your lesson, man?
I know, right?
Come
You
on.
know, I didn't tell my wife's. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. So, 2017, still grinding. You know, obviously, like we said, Triple D aired in November of 2016. So that whole momentum through the winter, all the way carried over. You know, so we're busy. I'm grinding, long hours, doubles. You know, because Chef's at Jumpin' Jays too at this time, and he's still there too, and we're talking every day. And my guy, he just let me really run with it, which I really appreciate him doing that. You know, he would order like, he's great with the community and farms, and all of a sudden it'd be like 10 pounds of daikon radish or whatever. You know, all this stuff would come in and be like, okay, what do I do with it? You know what I mean? Like, and it's a challenge. That was a good challenge. You know what I mean?
the
That's
game.
growth right there. Yeah, like, you gonna let go bad? You know, it's your food cost right there. You know what I mean? And that was like pushing me.
Yep.
And it was awesome. So, 2017 in May, you know, I at that time I was, you know, still smoking weed here and there, and I right before service, you know, I go out, smoke, whatever, and all of a sudden a big truck rolls up next to me with like 4 dudes in it, and I was like, okay, roll the windows up, go back inside. We opened at 4, you know. I was like, cool, all right, let's get my mental mise en place on. Let's go, let's grind. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I know, Dwayne Johnson walks in the kitchen with a big old badge on his stomach, like, come out here and talk to me right now. And I was like, oh, okay, yes, sir. You know, I mean, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I mean? And at that point in 2017, they had this big thing in New Hampshire where they're like busting for like fentanyl or like heroin, you know, the opiate thing like that. Like, where's the heroin at, Lil? I was like, sir, I don't have any. I was just smoking weed, man. Like, sorry, you know, this is.
I remember that was a hard like New Hampshire.
I can't remember what they called the task force or whatever.
Well, there were a lot of people getting into some heavy shit.
And we were right. Vita's right next to Salvation Army, so I'm sure they were at the Salvation Army and they saw a little kid get in his car, rope down a bowl, and they were like, beelined it over there. You know what I'm saying? And so that so anyway, so they take me outside and like, cool, you know, like I don't care about the weed. Where's the fentanyl at? I'm like, sir, I've never touched that before. Like I don't know, you know, no one in my staff does that. Like we would know if they did and they wouldn't be allowed here kind of deal. Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Well, that's cool. Do you care if I search your car? My dumbass. Yeah, go for it. You know what I mean? One Adderall in there for sure. Oh my gosh. And at that point, I was working so much. I was like, I started dabbling back into it a little bit. Like, cool, like, dude, keep me going. Keep me going.
I have never had a fucking person on my show mention Adderall in 760.
Everybody's gonna be like, I hate Ornells.
Hear me out, dude. In 770 episodes. Yeah. Until yesterday morning, where I talked to somebody who had an Adderall addiction. Yeah. And in less than 24 hours. Yep. You know, I'm just saying, like, the odds of that are crazy. Funny so you're not alone.
The funny thing was like, it was like in high school, it was like, your buddy had Adderall. You got a big exam tomorrow. Like, let me have one. I'll stay up all night and study or whatever. And I didn't touch the thing for 10, 12 years, you know. And then all of a sudden, working a lot, you know, I got a hold of it again. And I was like, yeah, dude, now I can fucking crush
I grew up on Adderall, dude.
Yeah,
so like,
I hear you. No.
Yeah, like.
But I didn't, because the first time I ever took it, in school, I didn't eat anything. You know what I mean?
I was like also the skinniest I've ever been on.
Yeah, I took a whole one. I was like, I can't eat. I'm like feeling like that. You know what I mean? And like, so when I took it again, I was like, wow, like I can fucking power through this shit. I can multitask.
It's definitely a game changer.
Like a motherfucker. I will stay here later than all you guys. I will organize the fucking.
There is zero judgment coming from
I will.
You.
No, I hear you, but I'm just saying, like, I will organize the walk-in. I will make sure this shit's perfect. You know what I mean?
I mean, it could have been worse. Like there are people that get addicted to that shit.
Right.
I would say I was probably borderline addicted to it too. And then like. I don't mind talking about this shit now, but like I was a commercial pilot, and I wouldn't have graduated if I didn't have Adderall. Right. Side note: it's illegal for pilots to take Adderall. Right. So I was risking my whole career.
I want my pilot on Adderall. That
exactly. I'd probably
right there. No, I'm kidding.
No, but the thing is, like if you grow up taking it, you get into your mind that I can't be successful if I don't have this. Right. Because you think that your success is coming from the drug, right? And it helps. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue that. I mean, you're on meth. Like, it's gonna like make you work. Grind, and they gave it to soldiers. You know what I mean? Like, the shit it works. Right. Definitely. But I'm not judging you. Yeah. But pick up the story. So he finds that one Adderall.
So finds one Adderall. It's another backstory, which this sucks here. Was my wedding anniversary, by the way.
Oh, the day of?
The day of. Usually,
You're still married?
I'm still married. God bless my wife. I would take the day off, but everybody went to go see this band called the Growlers that night. So you honor what we do. You know, you put it on the schedule. We all need this day off. Yep. And you know, chef's at Jumpin' Jay, so like I'm not gonna be like, I need this day off. You're like, cool, we'll celebrate our anniversary the next day or whatever. So I lied to the guy. You know, do you have a prescription for this? Oh yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? And where's your bottle? I was like, oh, I don't carry my bottle, sir. You know, like that. Last time it got stolen, you know, I just bring a couple here. Like, bring it back to the station tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool. So I got to go back to work and work that night. You know what I'm saying? And got a lawyer, all that stuff, and nothing happened. And all of a sudden, like in December.
When did this happen?
This was May 17th, 2017.
May to December.
So December 1st, 4th, 2017.
So like 8 months after?
Portsmouth, you know, my lawyer even tells the guy, like, hey, if you ever need him to turn himself in, like, just call me, whatever, blah, 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 blah. December 1st, 4th, whatever it was, Portsmouth does this big task force bust where they grab 7, 8 guys, you know, that must have had warrants out, and I'm one of them, you know. Blasted.
How'd you have a warrant out if you...
Because
I thought you got.
I never turned in I never had a prescription. I lied about it, you know, because it's my fucking wedding anniversary. If I don't come home tonight for my wedding anniversary, I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Which was probably not the right approach, you know, but like whatever. So, and then, that day in December, they bust like 8 people. I'm actually cooking on the line, making tacos at Vida, and they take me out of there and this, and that, and that was. You talk about the low point of your career. That was the low point of my career. And I had Chef Vargas there. Chef Vargas, my fucking guy, was like, don't bring him out the front door. Like, you bring him out the back door. That's a respectful man right there. And I'll fucking, you know, I love him for that. Right
not
there.
to like, dude, I love that. But not to get too personal, but take us to where you were in that moment when this was going down.
So I knew from May to December, I was fucking scared as shit, man. Losing sleep. My wife, you know, when
they came in and pulled you out, and when you were in cuffs,
I kind of felt like it was coming, you know what I mean? But like, it sucked, you know. At this point, my wife had just got pregnant with our son Houston in September, so I had a child on the way. So it's like, you talk about rock bottom again. You know, I had rock bottom in high school, but this was more because I'm trying to establish a career for myself, and then this hits, you know what I mean? And going through the whole motions of going to court and stuff like that, and felt like I was such a piece of shit. But my wife stood by my side, you know what I mean? She's always told me, if it ever happens again, I'm out, you know what I mean? So now I'm keep my nose clean, you know what I mean? And but you know, you talk about one of your questions, like biggest struggle of your career. So this is December of 17. We're opening Ornell's March of 2018. Yeah. And I have a son due May of 2018 as well. So
you already know that you're going to get your own restaurant at this point?
At this point, I do, yeah. Or it might have been a couple weeks later, because we started experimenting more at barbecue. You know, I have a background in Texas with it. Yeah. And we started doing barbecue Fridays at Vida, you know what I mean? So a brisket, half chicken, sausage links.
Not to pull off the subject of like where you were and like how you bounced back from that, but I think, actually, we'll come back to that. Finish your train of thought.
So just like... So going into opening a new restaurant, you know, having this court case over my head, knowing a child's on the way here too, it was just like, how do you shake that? How do you stay awake at night? You know, how do you sleep at night? Excuse me, not to say that. Yeah. And one thing I was saying, I actually really dwelled on it last night a lot, is that, you know, Jay didn't find out right away. Jay knew a couple months later. Chef always knew. And the fact that those guys didn't give up on me, like the fact that they could have easily been like, yo, this is a bad image, especially for Jay. Like, look at him in the community. You know what I mean? And Chef Vargas, too. Like, they could have easily been like, cool, we already bought the place. Like, we'll put an ad out and find another person to run some barbecue game here. But the fact that they stuck by my side in my corner and supported me because they knew my character. Yeah. That was a slip up, but they knew my character as a person. Yeah. That's when I said, you're going to make me cry. Like, because that shit, like, when I dwelled on it last night, I was like, God damn, dude, they could have got rid of me so, like. Yeah. Like, but dude, I mean, I think
that's the thing, though, man. Like, everything accumulates. Everything builds up. And people are judging you for the collective of who you are. And people fuck up. People make mistakes. Right. But that's why it's so important to show up every day and treat it like you own it and hustle. And, for sure. And people see that. They appreciate that. And, dude, let's be honest. You had some weed in an Adderall. Yeah. Something that you can get from your fucking doctor and your neighbor. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. Like, there's worse things that could have come. Definitely. You could have been, like, selling, like, crack to your dishwasher.
They took my Red Sox tickets too. Chef gave me 2 Red Sox tickets. And they took those too, man. That pissed me off.
I mean, I don't want to like undermine like breaking the law. Definitely, but like, for sure. Let's keep in mind, 3 years later, it's legal in every surrounding state. You know what I mean? Like, and it kind of is bullshit in my opinion. And when I was researching you type your name into Google, the first thing that pops up is William Myska arrested for drug possession. Right. And how fucked up is that? That's the world we live in.
You know what the worst part about that article was too? Is that I had a fucking baby. I was poor as shit at that time. I had a baby gram of weed, and like the guy above me had like a quarter ounce or quarter pound. They double typed that. Like, he had a quarter pound of weed that too. And all that. I was like, dude, I had a fucking gram.
I was thinking to myself, no joke. I was like, homie knows the power of buying in bulk.
No, dude, I didn't, dude. I literally had a lunchbox that I would keep my little pipe in and a little baby gram of weed in there. And I even talked to my lawyer. I was like, dude, is there a way like we can at least make this right and just say like he had a gram of weed or whatever? He's like, yeah, but that's going through so many jumps. They're going to reprint the article, this, that. And I was like, all right, fuck it. So, like, I didn't have fucking, I couldn't afford that fucking much shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is Restaurant Unstoppable. I'm not telling you to break the law.
Yeah.
But I am saying, like,
buy in bulk.
Buy in bulk.
I'm kidding.
Get a pound.
Here, there you go. Now,
no, it's like you could have done a lot worse. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I think that they probably saw that too. It's you know, it's not good for the brand, but at the same time,
especially when you're opening a new restaurant,
what you have done outweighed that little shit.
And
tenfold.
the way that they saw through that, you know what I mean? Like, Chef, I mean, like I said, we've been side by side at this point for 3-4 years, but even Jay, just seeing that, he could be like, whoa, I'm way too involved in this community, and I could just You know, like, hey, we gotta, you know, if you
But I
put
think
a
what-
Craigslist ad out, we'll find 5
But
people.
what he
we'll hire
did
one.
do,
He didn't. He stayed in my corner, man.
exactly, and you
I
know
fucking,
what?
I'm
That says
indebted to
more.
them forever.
That says
man.
more about being there for your community than
For
it does
sure.
about kicking you out because
Dude,
you did something.
I'm telling you,
and that's why he is where he is, because
Yeah.
it's about relationships.
Yeah.
It's about standing behind your people. It's about giving people second chances.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And that's why he's at the top.
You know what he said? He's like, just next time that shit happens, I want to know about it. Just tell me. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
like, you know, I didn't want anybody to know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I fought out on my own.
You're
I didn't ask for any
embarrassed.
help. Yeah, absolutely. You know, but the fact that, you know, they just said, you know, they let me keep doing my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They never pulled the plug on me. Like,
So what did you learn out of all that? What was the biggest
loyalty?
takeaway? Yeah.
Fucking loyalty, man.
Yeah.
Like those guys were just. They had my back, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's something beautiful, you know?
If you're listening to this,
My family had my back, but they had my back, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're listening to this, the people that you're responsible for are gonna mess up,
Yeah.
right? Have their back. Be there for them. Because
Definitely.
if you're not there, what would have happened to you if you lost your job and all these other things happened?
fuck,
Where would you be right now?
I don't know. I ended up cooking eggs.
I'm sure you
somewhere.
would have figured
Shit.
it out, but you would
Yeah,
have been
but-
you would have been delayed 5 years.
Definitely.
You know,
Absolutely. It wouldn't be where I'm at now. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
So like it just not to beat into the ground, dead horse to the ground, but I just can't thank them enough for
Yeah.
sticking by my
and
side.
here you are.
You know?
What 3 years later,
Yep.
and they're getting their names are only being lifted higher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you have people's backs.
Yep.
Back to the story. We unpackaged that. I think we can get away from it.
Yep.
Back to before this, a few months before this all went down, like you were propositioned to open your own place.
Right.
Take us to how this opportunity of Ornell's happened for
That
you.
was crazy. So yeah, chef sat me down and they talked about opening up maybe another Vida in Portland or whatever, and I was like, yeah, cool. I don't know if I want to commute to Portland, but and he was just like, I just want to know how invested you are in this company. You know, chef was, and I was like, I have no other opportunity. Like, I'm here, man. I'm here for you. I've been here for you. Like, I see how other people grow. You know, like Dagan got his brewery from Liar's Bench. Like, I see how the opportunities go. Like, I'm here to put in my hard work till I get my opportunity, you know?
Yep.
And when we talked about barbecue, and we're like, all right, let's fucking do it. So every Friday, like I said, for 2 months straight, we kept doing the barbecue Fridays, you know? So we kept, trial and error, man. I must have, some of them briskets might not have been good. Some might have been good, you know what I mean? But like chicken.
Well, yeah, but what I love this approach, the reason why I'm excited about it, because I didn't know that you guys were using Vida Cantina as an area or a place to do market research.
Absolutely. We just had a little.
It's essentially your own little pop-up,
Yeah,
right?
we had
and I
it.
love that approach. It's so smart. Like,
Yes, sir.
if you know that there's a space about to be available and you're grooming somebody within your team to take over that space as a partner,
Right.
Market research.
Yeah.
Do a pop-up within your space. Figure out the recipes.
Absolutely.
Create awareness. Develop a brand.
Right.
All this stuff. So start putting it out there. Start creating buzz. Right.
Right.
Were you guys doing stuff like that? Were you putting it out there? Were you letting people know?
Oh, we were letting people know social media wise, you know what I mean? But like even before that, where I was the butcher there, like I gained a lot of knowledge on trimming different things,
Yeah.
And yeah, so playing around with the smoker, we smoke our own bacon for, it was a Traeger, but we smoke our own bacon for brunch, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I was starting to dive more into that smoke stuff, and kind of that passion was growing a little bit more that I had from back home. And yeah, man, it just, people were loving it. We would sell out of those little barbecue dinners every Friday night, and it was like, okay, cool. Now let's all get in the car and let's go look at this space. You know what I'm saying? Which is really dope. Which is
Nice.
over my head.
Yeah.
Like over my head. I'm like a little kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With these two guys, with
Dude.
Vargas and Jay in the car, like, like Jay's like, well, can you do it? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, Jay. Like, I won't let you down, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I start telling him like, we'll do turkey dinners for Thanksgiving, which we've done every year. I was like, I went down, did all my research. I went through the Aaron Franklin Tunnel.
There
You know
you
what I
go.
mean? Everybody else, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Louis Mueller's, I went and learned every little trick I could
Yeah.
do, wrap in peach paper, then in plastic, then in foil. I went trial and error, more error than success until we locked it in, you know what I mean? And the hardest thing for me was writing recipes. Like we must have made 15 different barbecue sauces, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
it's barbecue is one of those things that it's not just a bunch of ingredients. You also are playing with time and temperature.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
Yeah.
even like the sides and stuff, even like the barbecue sauce, to nail that down, you're like, it needs a little bit more lemon juice in here, right there.
And then you're
like,
also doing barbecue in New Hampshire, where
for sure.
barbecue in August isn't going to be the same approach as barbecue in January, because all the variables of barbecuing in cold weather.
Right,
you know?
right, for sure.
I'm sure there's a bunch of curveballs.
Which we lucked out there with the Southern Pride indoor smoker that we have. Yeah, SRG 400. So like we have our own little hood vent kitchen back there. Good. So that was a huge help to us right there. But just marketing, just getting the recipes down, man. You know, as a chef, you're just like, I'm not a baker. Like, boom, add this, that. But now we have to dial up on a piece of paper. And whatnot. And I remember the day we came in here and when we walked in, you know, and they both told me like, don't say anything, you know, like. Don't do any talking, man. You're just coming in here. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you're working out your business stuff with the other previous owners of this building. So, like, yes, sir, you know. But looking around, you know, I was like, you know, seeing the aluminum siding, seeing all the wood and stuff like that. I was like, this feels like a barbecue plate. Like, it's just like.
It does. You reminded me of a GIF. Of them telling you, like, don't say anything. Like, stay cool. I saw this GIF, like, literally, like, 2 days ago. Of some restaurant broker posted it, restaurant real estate broker posted it. And it's like when you tell your client to act cool walking into a restaurant space, and then the gift was some dude like slapping high fives, like running in like he was super excited. It just made me think of that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, they're like, and I'm like listening to them like, yep, I ain't seen a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Not to be, you know,
sorry if
use his name in vain.
I had to share that.
No, I love that. So walking around, but like looking at like as they're talking and negotiating or whatever, I'm like looking around like this could be a barbecue restaurant. And then there's the front line when you walk in, you see the open kitchen, but there's also this at the time there's this other back kitchen that has another hood vent system, and they had an oven with a 6-range burner on top. I was like, dude, that could be an indoor smoker right there. Has a hood vent right under it. You know what I'm saying? Get a couple Alto shams, we can make this happen.
Yeah, man. And one thing we didn't talk about, and I'm really curious about it. When did they tell you, like, we want to open a restaurant with you?
Probably before I got arrested in December.
Okay.
You know?
They're like, shit, we
like in November. No, I mean, it was like right around that time. I mean, it's kind of a blur now, man, because it all just hit me.
What was that like to know that you were going to?
Dude, it was the coolest feeling in the world.
How do they say it to you? Like, how do they, like, deliver the news?
Really, it was Chef Vargas delivering the news. You know what I mean? Like all your hard work. Like, you know, I saw this podcast with you. Like, he wanted to create opportunity for me. You know, obviously he's a partner in this business too. But like, what's next for you, man? You know what I mean? Like, you've served your time here. Like, you've shown me what you can do here. I have all the faith and trust in the world in you. Like, let's move. Let's give you your baby kind of deal now. You know what I mean? Which again speaks volumes for him. And just hearing that was like, shit. Like, we're going through with this. You know what I mean? Once like we started selling out of those the Friday barbecue dinners, it was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, we can do this at a volume, right? We're not gonna do it off a little offset smoker because, you know what I mean, we need something bigger. But like, I don't know, man. It's not to be sound stupid. It was a blur. You know what I mean? Like, it just
like
something
what
hits you. Like,
okay,
really?
Of course, I
would love that. You know,
for sure.
And then we went through the company ham, and we're picking out names of the restaurant, and you know, we're talking about Oakland Barbecue or point and flat, you know what I mean? Like, of the brisket, you have the flat, the point, and all this stuff. And then it was like Ornell's, you know, and like everybody voted on which one. And I didn't want to say Ornell's just because I'm like, well, that's my grandma's name. I don't want to like, I appreciate this moment, but I want to be like, we're calling it my grandma's name. You know what I mean? I'm like very humble. As much as I am my competitor and want to win all the time, I'm also humble too, a little too much. So like, and then everybody's like, no, dude, it's going to be Ornell's. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. 2 syllables. And the other thing I've learned in the show is that, like, something that's an extension of who you are, something that's personal, something that, you know, that you can identify with.
Can't let grandma down.
Yeah, man. And plus, I just feel like you're going to show up to a whole different level.
Yeah, definitely.
If you make it personal, if it is an extension of who you are, if your DNA is imprinted on it.
Right. And then it goes back to like all the Central Texas or even past Central Texas barbecue restaurants in Texas. They're all named after someone's name.
Yeah.
Terry Black's, you know, Franklin's Barbecue, you know. Mueller's, Louis Mueller's, you know what I mean? Valentina's, you know what I mean?
In Nashville, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like that. So it's like, okay, like we're not going to put Will Myska's on here, you know what I mean? But like Ornell's is just that classic old school Texas two different names in one, you know what I mean? Ornell Myska. So it was like, it was cool, man. And
so 2 years into ownership now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What have been the biggest hurdles, biggest challenges in the past 2 years that you've had to get over that you didn't anticipate as an owner?
In 2 years, or just this year, or
just the past 2 years?
Just growth. You know what I mean? Like how to expand the business a lot. You know, how to keep managing the staff. I don't think that ever's changed. You know what I'm saying? Because we talked about earlier, Chef Vargas taught me a lot about managing the person and whatnot, but you're going to get a bunch of different people. So you got to continue to keep managing different people in different ways.
Yeah.
But growth of the business for sure, getting our name out there.
What has worked for you, getting your name out there?
I don't want to be redundant and say social media and stuff like that, but
okay, say social media, but give me an example of how you're using social media.
Promo nights, stuff like that. You know, one big thing with me is like,
what is a promo night?
Like public service industry Tuesday night. You know what I mean?
How do you promote those nights?
Instagram usually, social media, or email blasts as well.
What's an email blast?
So people that come here, we get their email address and we blast it off to them.
Sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
That southern.
That's southern. I'm chewing on my lips, kind of stuff like that. But you know, like a lot of those things that they haven't worked out. I remember our first year we did Western Wear Wednesday. You come in with your best Western attire and you get a gift card, and that thing never popped off. You know what I mean? But that's okay. You know what I mean? Because people still came in on Wednesday.
Next one? I'm gonna show up.
Yeah, well, we kind of got rid of that one. You know what I'm saying?
Bring it back. You better.
There you go. Yeah. On pop-ups, you know, we did a pop-up with Bad Lab Brewery. You know what I mean?
Okay,
pop-up with Stoneface, like getting out there, like things like that.
Pop-ups are huge.
With breweries, barbecue and beer, man.
Why do pop-ups work?
Because you're showing yourself to a whole new clientele that may not know about you, especially when you're new.
It's a collaboration. You know? You're coming together. You're taking these followers are now you got these followers, and we're bringing our shit together.
Right.
We're saying we put our stamp of approval. The people that know, like, and trust us. Hey, guess what? Know, like, and trust them too.
Yep.
And then you reciprocate.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's a huge way.
Like Bad Lab. I mean, you're in Somersworth, you know, right there. Like, how many people know about Ornell's or even go out to Kittery to go eat? You know what I mean? Or even know what Badger's Island is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So doing things like that.
And I think it comes down to collaboration, and this is why I think that you go so much further together, right? You can look to the people that are your neighbors down the street and you say, let's fucking bury those motherfuckers. Or you can say, hey, let's do a collaboration. Let's do a pop-up. Let's take your whatever and let's throw it on our whatever.
What do they say? What's the old saying? And they make fun of me because I butcher my words and say it backwards all the time. It's my 8th grade Texas education, but it's rising tides move sink ships or whatever.
All boats rise with the tide.
There you go. Something like that. See, I butchered that one. That's for all you got. There you go. Zach's going to love that one. But it's that saying, though, right there. You know what I mean? Like,
it's true,
come together and lift everybody up.
There's truth.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, when I talk about winning and stuff like that, it's not winning to defeat somebody else or another place. It's about the winning amongst ourselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And how we can grow within ourselves.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
So events, promotion has been one of your challenges.
Yeah.
These are the things you've learned. Anything else over the past 2 years?
That's helped the growth?
Yeah.
Our packages, man, have been really great. So
what do you mean by that?
Thanksgiving packages, smoked turkey, set price. I mean, this past year we did 80 of them. First year we did 28. Second year we did 46. This year we did 80. Probably did a lot more because of, the COVID stuff. You're eating at home instead of going to a family feast. But all this different kind of marketing stuff. And we're blessed to have the marketing team there at 1 Middle Street in downtown Portsmouth. Started doing brunch. We do brunch in the off season. Barbecue brunch. You can get a Bloody Mary with burnt ends on it kind of deal. You know what I mean? Brisket, eggs Benedict, stuff like that. Like, just how can you evolve and not stay stagnant, so to say? You know what I mean? And then you can't swim against the tide. I remember when we first opened here, and Justin can tell you this, that I didn't want cornbread on the menu because cornbread's more of like your deep south, more eastern barbecue thing. We're more fried okra, coleslaw. We even do this like slaw that's like with carrots, mayonnaise, and potato salad, carrots, mayonnaise, and raisins in their pinto beans, which we have. So I was like, I want this menu to be cut and dry so we can stay true to who we are. We don't have post oak wood, but we get some awesome white oak wood in Lebanon, Maine from Bruce Kimball. And I was like, so the first weekend we opened, we got like 5 different inbox messages like, where the fuck's the cornbread? Why don't you guys have cornbread? So, right?
Sometimes you got to give the people what they want.
And that's what we do. So, so now we do a special menu every night. We have our cut and dry menu, but we have a special menu. And cornbread's on there every night. And we sell so much damn cornbread, jalapeno cheddar cornbread, with the Diarable honey over the top. But that special menu, too, is very important. It's an outlet for product you're sitting on. Not saying it's bad product or whatever, but it's also for the staff that you have to get creative.
Yes.
Come up with the special.
Why is that significant?
Because who wants to make potato salad every damn day? And who wants to make pinto beans every day? You're gonna lose staff. You know what I mean?
You need an outlet for creativity.
And people are gonna leave. Again, it's a revolving door in a restaurant. We've been lucky enough to retain a lot of staff since we opened. My chef de cuisine Zach Cardona's been here since day one. That's my brother right there. But it gives you an opportunity. Come up with what do you want me to order? Pork belly? Cool. Let's work on it together. What do you want to learn? Yeah, what can we do? You know what I mean? And it gives people an outlet to not be stagnant.
And also, who knows, man? Like, you might create something that's a hit. Who knows? It might find a home on the menu, permanent menu.
Absolutely, you know? Well,
who knows? It
can't touch the traditional menu, but it can hit that special menu. We can extend it.
It could also become its own thing.
For sure.
You know, that could be somebody on your team that invents something or brings something that's their passion. Now, guess what? We're going to do pop-ups around this thing. Now, guess what? A new business was available, new locations available down the street. Let's do a whole, like, you know, I'm dreaming right now.
No, for sure. No, I hear exactly what you're saying. Definitely.
You know?
Like, we started, you know, how cheap lobster was over the summer. We started doing smoked lobster roll Fridays.
Lobster was cheap this summer?
Oh, lobster was cheap, man. We're talking.
Damn, why was I in Texas?
$5. No, up here.
But I was in Texas.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, I hear you. Like $5 a pound, man. So we worked with a local lobsterman across the water here in Kittery.
$5
a pound,
dude,
man. It was crazy.
Some lobster was cheap this year.
So I hope it stays cheap next year. But actually, not for lobster, man. They need to make money. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But gas, we can keep that kind of streamlined. But so we started doing smoked lobster rolls every Friday. And the first Friday, 16 of them out within 2 hours.
That's
so
awesome.
We did it all the way from May until October 1st or whatever, and that was kind of our niche.
So this is something I don't get to do often.
Yep.
But I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Justin, pull that seat over here real quick.
You going to pull layers back on me here?
Talk to me about your boy over here, Will. How long have you worked here?
I've been here actually since day one.
Since day one.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. I actually met Will when he was working at Vida. I was the kind of new guy. Was working in the hotel industry, didn't love it as much as I wanted to. And,
you said some shit when I got here earlier. You were saying that like you just love this place. You love Will.
Yeah, no doubt, 100%.
So what is it about working for Will? Why are you sticking around?
I mean, geez, where do I start?
Don't get him wrong. We fight like brothers all the time.
But that's a cool thing. Yeah, man.
We definitely do.
What's different about working here versus working at the hotel?
Oh my goodness, you kidding me? Like, for one, just the customer service side of things. If you have a great product that you can stand behind, you have great people that you're working for, and underneath, I mean, it just goes hand in hand with a happy day at work every day. I mean,
side note, I love how you were giving Will shit for being nervous earlier.
Oh, come on. We're going there. I mean, he was nervous, and look at me, now I'm shaking.
Yeah. How's it feel?
It's awful.
So, what is it like, just, I don't know, there's one significant thing you can say about being here, being part of this team. The reason why you think it's successful, the reason why you're proud to be on this team, what is it?
I mean, I definitely can't put it into a sentence, but I mean, just from knowing Will for the last few years and knowing his story, where he's grown up, I mean, I knew nothing about barbecue.
Yeah.
Nothing. We're New England kids, you know? We know lobster and scallops. So learning the ground from post oak wood to the different size and everything, what's kind of traditional to Texas, was huge and important for me to learn. And then just the story that Will has and everything. Jay, Chef Vargas, can learn a lot from all of them.
Yeah.
But daily basis, I come to work because, one, we have a crazy community that follows us. I mean, we're in Maine. Who would have ever thought you'd get Texas barbecue
in
on a little island in Maine?
Yeah, right.
And just to see the community outreach that's been here with us since day one is huge.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Now, what about Will? Like, what's one thing that you respect the most about Will?
Drive. Easily, 100%.
Give me that picture of what his drive is like. Give me an example of what drive looks like.
You come in here, he's listening. Sometimes he's listening to some of the weirdest music alone, early morning. Wait, no, that's not weird. Like, there's some different music. I mean, he's actually opened my eyes to a lot of different music. But you come in here early morning, he's grinding, working, prepping, all this stuff all by himself, and just come in here. Hey, what's up, chef? And like, it's like we're brothers again. Like every morning, dude, how you doing? How's your night? How's your wife? This, that, and the other. Like. Just working alongside with Will has been probably one of the best people I've ever worked for in my life. I've had a long career in hospitality, more so in the hotel side, but coming to restaurants and then working with this group and in this building every day is pretty cool.
So what is it that you think is it that it's weird because he's sitting right next to you? I know.
So
I'm sorry,
weird.
I'm putting you on the spot right You said it's one of the best people to work for. And is it just the fact that you can have those conversations and you can talk to him and like what is it that makes him? What is it about him and how he makes you feel?
We are like when you said we're like brothers, we are like go back to when you're 12 years old, running around the woods laughing about the dumbest stuff ever.
Yeah.
That's us.
But you're gonna show up for your brother. You know, you love your brother. You know
100%.
what I'm saying?
I mean,
I think
neither of us have brothers.
Yeah.
So like this is kind of our brotherhood that we never had.
That's
so,
awesome, dude. Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it's just. I don't know. I already forget your question.
I'm putting you on the spot, but it was fun. It was fun. It's not every day I get to have the GM sitting in and watching the interview, so I was like, I want to put.
I mean, I popped in and out. Okay, I've been paying attention to service.
Thank you. Yeah. No.
Well, one thing I'll say though that he doesn't want to say because he's very humble too, is that what was a big eye opener for me is I thought like, cool, you can have a good product and you can put good food out there, and people will come. But that's not true at all. You know, people come here to see Justin.
Yeah.
And that blew my fucking mind.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you, like. There's this new Facebook group I'll call it Seco Seats, you know, and someone said, hey, there was a little slip up on the order. Justin made it right, whatever. And there's fucking 100 comments. I love Justin. I love Justin. I love Justin. I told him, I was like, hey, don't let that go to your head, boy. Okay.
Okay. You just gave us something else to talk about too.
But I'm saying like like I've seen people walk in the doors. Justin here today? No, just it's today's day off. Turn around and walk right out. Like, but no, that speaks volumes for his hospitality. Like he's a teddy bear that people love, and he can talk all day long. Like, what is it? Moses and Aaron, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's the one that talks on the one, whatever, you know what I mean? But, like, I just never knew that about a restaurant that, like, it's the food could suck and Justin can make it better just by the experience of getting to talk to Justin.
Business is all about
and
relationships.
And me maybe being pig-headed about that, like, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I just never – I'm still growing and evolving. I'm young. And just, like, to see that this past year and a half of, like – holy shit, dude, like, it is about Justin just as much as it is about me. Absolutely. It's a fucking cool thing. You know what I mean?
I love you. Can't do it alone. It takes a team.
You can't do it alone.
I've loved this conversation. I can't believe we're almost we're over an hour and almost
Sorry to take up your time.
No, man, I want, if it was up to me, these would be 3. I'd Joe Rogan the shit out of this. I gotta respect your time.
No.
I ask all my guests before we wrap up.
Yep.
You know, the mission statement again is to inspire, empower, and transform the industry. We do that by sharing the stories and making an example of people like yourself.
Right.
How have you personally transformed since the man you were, young man, 19 years old, to the man you are today? How have you transformed?
There's just a bigger picture. I have more responsibilities. I have more people I have to take care of in my life, and then you just have to grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
I think that's helped me keep my nose clean and just head down, balls to the wall, man, and just going for it. You know what I mean?
I love it. And thank you.
And make no excuses about anything. I'm big on that. You know, if you mess up, man, you own your excuse. You know what I mean? Like, I hate excuses. Like, I don't know, just like accepting responsibility for your actions, I think is a key.
We're back. And the first question I have for you is, what is your it factor, a habit, a trait, a characteristic you believe most contributes to your success?
To lay loose and have fun with my staff, for sure.
What is your biggest weakness?
Not being able to let go enough. Not going to say necessarily micromanaging, but just not being able to step away as much as I feel like I could.
Yeah.
Because it's my baby. So
I feel that. What's one question you ask or thing you look for when you're interviewing, growing your team?
What are your goals in life?
I love it, dude. So
absolutely. Yeah, plenty of examples of that too. I know we're speed rounding, but
yeah,
we've had an actor come in here. You know what I mean? We like to tell him that we taught him how to act by trolling him for 2 summers straight. You know what I'm saying? Now he's in California. He's had a bit on SNL and stuff like that. I got an engineer here who's graduating this semester.
Now he fixes all of your shit.
But he fell in love with this industry. He's front of the house and back of the house. And he's like, yeah, no, man, don't worry about that exam. I'll be in there. I'm like, no, dude, like this is what you go to school for. Like, this is more important. I can find you coverage. Like, it's about other people's goals. This is my dream.
Yeah, and you need to know
what
are
your dreams. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's a very important question.
And how are you going to serve them in getting there if you don't know?
It's almost like Remember the Titans.
Yep.
When the big boy comes up to Coach Boone, I'll never be in college, you know, and he's like, I want you to bring me your report card, every semester. I don't do that, but like, dude, we'll figure something out here, but and I love you being here and you're an asset to the team, but don't follow the dreams that you want to achieve, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Dude.
And that was instilled by me, by Chef, and all my other mentors.
And this is why I love making an example of you and everybody that's a part of this great group, man.
And Justin's great about that too at the front of the house. You know what I mean? So
I love it. What is one of your biggest challenges today?
You could easily say, the COVID challenge right now, especially in the winter months. I don't know, man. Just the COVID challenge? No. Just trying to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks right now.
Yeah,
like, what can we do during that? Like, again, takeout, cool, but like, what other promos? What other things we can do? We're trying to do a barbecue and bubbles New Year's Eve package. Like, what can we do in January? Like, what's the next thing? Like, I told you about Western Wear Wednesday. It was a flop. Like, but you have to not be scared to take those chances.
Yeah.
And if they fail, you're still here.
Yep.
But like, what are the other things? And that's what wraps around my mind at night. I'm like, what can we do next? Like, what's another cool thing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
For sure, man.
So that's a struggle, but it's a good struggle to have and to stay on.
Share one code of conduct or behavior you teach your team. This is a core value, a way to be, a way to act.
Oh, punctuality for sure. You need to be here on time.
Love
Absolutely. If you're not on time, you need to call me. Don't text me. Let me know you're going to be a little bit late, and then you need to have a good attitude when you walk in here. You know what I'm saying? And if everybody has their off days, you try to tell people to check things at the door. They necessarily can't because, some things weigh heavier on people than not. Go take 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just, positive energy, positive attitudes. Because if someone's negative, man, it brings the whole team down.
Absolutely.
And we're such a small business that we want to just, we're family, man. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it, dude. What is one uncommon standard of service you teach your team? Something that's common within the four walls of your business, but not common throughout the industry.
Through our group, it was really instilled on me as 3 hellos, 3 goodbyes, especially thus in the open kitchen.
Yep.
So when my head's done, I'm slicing. There's a guy behind me that says, "Hey, folks, how you doing tonight?" Or when someone leaves, "Hey, have a great night." And bartender does it too. And so you almost, it could be over the top for some people sometimes.
You're delivering it.
You're getting 3 hellos, like, "Whoa, thank you, yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you." You know what I mean? But I think that goes a long way. It's not just hospitality, but it's we're preaching Southern hospitality too.
What is one book that's a must read to make us a better person?
Oh my goodness. David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me.
Can't Hurt Me. David Goggins.
Can't Hurt Me, absolutely.
Biggest lesson
Master your mind and defy the odds.
I love it.
He's a big Navy SEAL guy, but it's not about physical stuff. It's about mental.
Yes.
And he talks about the 40%. 20% is the easy corner, mommy's baby and you. And it's okay, it's okay. We're all scared to get to that other 40% side to reach our potential. Failure.
Dude,
there's a light at the end.
Behind every great restaurant's a great person.
Dude, in that book, everybody should read that man's story, dude.
I love it,
It's
dude.
fascinating.
We'll be sure to link to it in the show notes. This is episode 771. If you want the link to that book. And what is one thing you feel restaurateurs don't do well enough or often enough?
I'm not going to downplay any restaurateurs or anything like that. I think social media, marketing for sure. We're fortunate to have a great marketing group that I just inherited in the company.
Another thing that we didn't talk about, but it came out in the other episodes I did with David, and I think maybe Kate talked about it a little bit too, that when you are a part of a restaurant group, you might not be, if you're coming into a restaurant group and you're partnering with other people, you might not own 100% of that restaurant. Yeah. But you're getting access to all the assets that restaurant has, meaning not just the physical assets, right? Like the tangible, like the things, but the people.
I couldn't imagine crunching all my invoices and paying my bills to my purveyors. I can send them to Stacy, who's a sweetheart at the office, and Morgan and Lauren and all of them help with all the promotions. And having that outlet right there is just
it's huge.
Weight off my shoulders, and I really appreciate them for that.
Name one service you've outsourced to. So when I say service, I'm not necessarily talking about a technology, but a person or a group of people that you outsource to do a thing for you.
Absolutely. Shannon and Rook at Main Meat down the road here. We get our Texas hot links from them.
Shannon and
Rook.
Shannon and Rook
Jared,
from Main Meat.
Main Meat right here on the 4th side of Kittery. Nice. When we first opened, it was a big push by Jay. He's like, this is his first restaurant in Maine. He's like, we need to tie ourselves to the community some way. Yeah. And Chef already had a relationship with Rook from Main Meat. We would get stuff at Vida from him and like, we want to develop an all beef sausage link. You know what I'm saying? That he sells exclusive. They sell exclusively to us. Yep. And it's been fire, and they've been great. Man. And we did a show. It's airing in January called Movable Feast on PBS. Nice. Where we go to Main Meat and talk to them and go to their butcher shop and stuff like that. So it's they are awesome, man.
That is awesome. What is one piece of technology you've adopted within the 4 walls of your business that's had a huge impact on communication, efficiency, profitability, anything along those lines?
Yep. You could say the social media aspect, the Instagram, all that. Also, Toast. We switched our POS system over to Toast, which has been huge for us with online ordering and things like that. And then I'm also going to give it up to the community. Like inside of Facebook during this pandemic, everybody's opened up their own Facebook pages, like Seco Seats, Eric Levine, right?
Yep.
The Dover takeout one, the Portsmouth one. And so they'll pick up.
Do you know the names so I can make sure we tag them and let them know they're getting some love?
It's Dover. I could look them up. Dover has their own like restaurant group page, and so does the Portsmouth Eats, and then Seacoast Eats is the big one. When Eric actually came in a couple weeks ago,
Nice.
I missed him, but they do is they pull your Instagram stuff from what you post, and they share it to a bigger audience.
Nice.
And that just gets you more in touch with the community.
It's the same thing with collaborating. It's like doing a social media pop-up.
But I'm so grateful for these people doing this stuff right here. You know what I mean? Like you didn't sign up or ask for it. They pull your stuff and blast it, and people say things on it. Seco Seats. Yep, that's the big one right there, man.
Nice.
So
he's gonna be getting some love from us. This is the last question.
Yeah.
Actually, before I get into that last question, you did mention Toast.
Yep.
And if you guys are interested in switching to Toast, if you haven't made the necessary changes in your business yet, I really hope you have.
Yep.
But if you haven't, or if you're opening a restaurant, and Toast is one of our sponsors, CPA, they're paying us $2,500 for every new person that signs up with our link, and I'm splitting my commission with the owner. I'm going to give you, after taxes, about $1,000. I'll send you a check for $1,000. If you're interested in Toast, head over to toasttab.com/unstoppable and email me when you do, so they can't give me your information, and I really want to send you a check for $1,000.
There you go.
So make sure you email me so I can get you on that list and get you your check. And thank you for supporting the show.
Toast is the best.
And I didn't tell you about Toast. For the
best.
record, I'm not influencing the show. I promise you guys. I'm not walking into restaurants and looking to see what POS they use, and if they don't use Toast,
I'm telling
I'll walk
you,
out.
we used Cake before and didn't even have 2-ply paper on it, man. And then we had to use Square, and we got Toast last February, and it made everything so much more streamlined. Online ordering. We can sell our Christmas packages through the online ordering.
Yeah.
All 24 hours a day. So we'll come in the next morning and be like, you sold 2 at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just
it's a great platform.
It's streamlined our summer so much.
I love
it's
it,
made
dude.
it awesome.
I love it. Again, toasttab.com/unstoppable. Thank you.
Absolutely.
This is the last question. It's a doozy. Get ready for it.
Yep.
If you got the news, you're leaving this world tomorrow. All the memories of you, everything about you would be lost with your departure, with the exception of 3 pieces of wisdom that you could leave behind for the good of humanity and for your legacy. What would those pieces of wisdom be?
Mine would be life's not a dress rehearsal.
1.
So live in the moment and be able to take time and smell the roses, for sure.
What's 2?
2 is going to say play to win-win-win. And I don't mean that to beat another person, but win at your goals and achieve your full potential in life.
Dude, I love that. And I say all the time, I love to create win-win-win situations. So it's about you winning, it's about the other person winning, and it's about someone else winning.
Yeah,
And
win amongst yourself.
Yeah, creating those win-win situations.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. And I think that was 2, right?
Yeah.
So what's the third one?
The third one's they're going to think is corny because I already told them to it. I said live, laugh, love.
Dude.
But if you can't live and laugh and love, then what the hell are you going to do? You know what I mean? So
Did Justin give you a hard time? With
everybody did back there. Waitress did. Don't say that one. Don't say that one. But I was like, shit, well, I have 2 good ones. But it's true, man. Like, if you're not laughing, you're not living, man.
I love
that's
it,
why we listen to music here and we have a good time. And I think that's like we're cooking food, man. It's not brain surgery. Sure, you get stressful moments, but at the end of the day, like we're trying to make people happy, and it's food. You know,
Chef Will Myska, I've loved this conversation.
Me too, Eric. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, man.
I
You
stalled you
crushed
up,
it.
man. And,
Dude, you're great, man. I know
you brought tears in my eyes. You pulled back 5 layers.
Number 3.
Dude.
That's 3 people I made cry on the show.
So,
I need to do better.
There you go. You're a great interviewer, man. I appreciate your time so much.
There's a reason why Kate recommended you. There's a reason why
awesome.
David recommended you.
Sure.
It was a treat to have you here, and
Thanks, sir.
Your community loves you, dude.
Thanks,
and I can see why. So we wrap up every show. It's how I found you. We call people out. Who's somebody you respect and admire and believe would make a great guest mentor like you made for us today?
Oh, I think I got 2. Jethro Lole, for sure, from Ristorante Massimo. And he has a hell of a story to tell.
I'm coming after you, man. Look out.
Yeah, come after him. And then Gary Kim, from Mr. Kim's as well.
Yeah,
so he did his pop-ups here, and he has a great story to tell from the start of Anjou to him going around, traveling around the world. They had the hashtag Where's Gary Kim, and for now him settling into his own place. I think
that's awesome.
2 guys that would be great to talk to.
Beautiful. Look out, dudes. I'm coming after you, and let the folks at home know, how can we connect with you? If we enjoyed your story, we resonated with you, maybe we want to come join your team, maybe we want to work for you. What's the best way to connect?
Through social media or our website, ornellsbarbecue.com.
And your social media handle
is
We almost made it throughout the interview without destroying my equipment.
Or Nell's
Jay, we owe him.
That's not being edited out.
.com or on Instagram or Nell's BBQ.
All right, beautiful. And we almost made it. Just kidding. You guys are fine. Thank you guys so much. There is no questioning. You are unstoppable unless there's a mic in front of you. You might break that. All right.
Good man, Eric. I appreciate it, dude.